Have you got a landscape project or an idea for your yard and you don't know where to begin? Are you thinking about how to tackle a renovation of your bed, or are you thinking you want to replace some tired looking plants, but you don't know where to begin? Well, if you're new here, my name is Kim. I am a landscape designer and consultant, and I, like you, always want to know where to begin. And so I have a lot of clients that call me because they too don't know where to begin. They have ideas, they've watched HGTV, and they know sort of what they like, but they don't know how to pull it all together. And so, and sometimes you may not have the idea, you may know what you like and what you don't like, but you sort of need that inspiration on where to go. So you're looking at Pinterest and you're riding around and looking at neighborhoods and people's yards, and you're gathering that inspiration for what you would like to do in your own landscape. Well, today I am taking you with me on an initial client visit. An initial client visit as a landscape designer is one of my most important first steps to creating a landscape design to bring dreams to reality. And what happens in this initial meeting is that we gather information. It's sort of a discovery meeting. So I wanted to bring you along, and I wanted to talk you through what it is that I'm looking at as a professional landscape designer, and how I am gathering information, asking the right questions, surveying the area, and getting ideas so that I can create that perfect design, or initial first design, and then we revise it if it needs to be tweaked. And so I wanted you to come along with me today as I go to Pittsboro. I'm in central North Carolina, so Pittsboro is about an hour to the south. It is near Pinehurst, North Carolina, which is the mecca of golf. And I just thought that, it would be great to show you the beautiful countryside and to show you a video of what it is that as I go through the process, I'm thinking in order to design. We can have a conversation and learn a lot, I think, from these initial visits. So you may be thinking, why do I care about your initial client visits, Kim? The reason I feel like it would be beneficial for you is that, if you have a project now or in the future, there are things that you need to think through first. Those initial first steps in an effort to renovate your bed and be successful. That's the key. You can do anything you want to a landscape bed, but is it going to be successful? Are your plants going to survive and thrive? That's the key. Is it going to look nice? Is it going to be a cohesive look? And is it going to achieve exactly what you had in mind when you spent your hard-earned money to pay for the materials to create this project? And so I wanted to talk with you a little bit about what I think through as a landscape design professional as I am looking at a property, any property, including my own. And so some of the things as I am going through the property I'm looking at are the location of the bed, the sunlight. Is it getting sunlight? Is it full shade? Is it in a wooded area? Is there drainage, proper drainage? Are there areas that are holding water? Are we going to have to reroute water? I'm looking at the gutters. Where are the gutters? Have they been piped out? Meaning, have they had corrugated pipe put on the drain and it put out into the yard, or away from that initial foundation bed? I'm looking at the soil structure. Is it rocky? Is it sandy? Is it clay? Does it look like it's got a lot of organic material, which organic material is key when you have thriving, happy plants. And I'm looking at mulch. What type of mulch is around? Is it a forest of pine trees where if we put hardwood mulch down, that's going to be a waste of time because pine trees are a natural mulch. They drop needles all the time. It's like our hair, it falls out all the time. Pine needles drop needles all the time. Free mulch and is a nightmare to keep clean if you put another type of mulch. I'm asking questions about maintenance. Do you like to get out and do you like to prune? Do you like to, and really nobody says yes. I think I've had over the year, I've had one client, and over the last 20 plus years that I've been doing this, I can count on one hand how many people want maintenance, right? I think we all have very busy lives, and landscape maintenance is not something that is on the hooray list. Let's go out and do some maintenance today, right? So, you know, the number one thing that I hear when I am doing these initial meetings and my initial phone call is, hey, I am looking for a no maintenance landscape. And so that starts a whole conversation of, okay, that means nothing living, right? That means patios and, you know, we could hook up irrigation, you know, drip irrigation if you have pots. And, you know, but that is some maintenance. So going down a rabbit hole, that's a topic for another video. But I'm asking about maintenance. I'm asking, you know, I'm doing a little bit of educating, but I'm mainly listening to, you know, to the answers. I want to know what the vision is, what your dreams are. You know, have you ridden around? Have you looked at ideas? Do you have inspiration? If not, I am happy to come up with it in my head. And that's where, you know, the initial landscape design is so, I love seeing the clients' faces. They get so excited when they see this design and they're like, oh my gosh, that is exactly what I wanted. I didn't know, you know, oh, this is great. And I love that. I live for that. It's so exciting. Anyway, back to my initial visit. I get really excited about my job. I'm very passionate, as you can see, which means I'm doing the right thing, right? So I am looking at their sunlight, their area, their location. I'm going to look up their zone, if they're any different than mine, which is zone 7B. I don't think so. You know, where, if we need evergreens, if we want perennials, that sort of thing. And so today I am taking you, as I said, on a journey. We are going to go and look at the property. I will have my visit. You won't hear me ask these questions, but I will video the area and I will show you the video, and I will talk over sort of what the vision is. And then I'm going to go through, when I get home, I'm going to go through the process. I'm going to just jot down what it is that I want to do for them. So anyway, I am excited. We're going to head on out now. So we're going to hit the road and we will be back to talk about it in just a little bit. Okay, we are headed to Pittsburgh. I'm just pulling out of my neighborhood. It's about a 40-minute drive, and I will show you some of the drive. It's a really, really pretty drive down an old country road, but we will go and see what we can come up with. Are y'all ready? Let's go do this. My initial conversations have told me that we are going to look at privacy of the backyard area and creating a secret garden in the back with a patio, complete with a place for their children to stretch their imagination and have a great place to play. Okay, and just like that, I am finished. We had a great meeting, walked around, looked at all of the areas they are looking to enhance or renovate, and we came up with some solutions together, and I'm really, really excited to see how those turn out on in my designs. So I am doing several different designs. I'm doing some natural screens on either side of their property. I am doing a natural patio in a wooded area and extending their sodded area, and also creating a little bit softer lines for that, plus screening the underneath of their back porch. And I am going to just add some mulch around. They have a Generac generator. So all in all, it was a great meeting. I'm going to show you my video from where we just left and sort of talk through that with you. So let's take a look. Starting off backwards, here is the mulched area for the generator. This is one of the areas where we will create the screen underneath their porch, screen meaning blocking the view naturally. And then this is where the fun begins. We are extending this sodded Bermuda bed, and we are going to take it into the edge of the woods, and then from there we are going to create the most beautiful natural patio and secret garden area for them to go back and relax in privacy in the midst of a neighborhood and have their kids a place where their imaginations can run wild. Now we are going to grab my notebook and look at where we are doing one of the natural screens on the side yard. We want to bring back some nature to the side yard and define the edge using plants. And that summarizes exactly the designs that I will be doing. So we are going to head home and do a quick rough sketch of what it is that we are going to do, and we are going to wrap up this video. All right, we are home. I am in my office. I grabbed a pen and my sketch notebook, and I wanted to show you how I come home and I put my thoughts on paper. I do tend to jot down notes while I'm there with the client most of the time when I leave, unless it's something I really know I need to remember, because I want to soak in everything that they're saying. And so you do not have to have any artistic ability. As you are getting ready to see, I use X's, O's, squiggly lines, whatever it takes to be able to convey what's in my mind onto paper. You too, when you are designing your landscape or your project, can do a very rough sketch, and that will suffice. I will show you how my process, so after my initial visit, I then make a rough sketch, okay? So that's what I'm gonna show you now. I'm gonna turn the camera, I'm gonna flip the camera down so you can see, and then it's gonna be upside down, and I'll turn it around and show you exactly what I'm doing. First, we're gonna draw the screen. So I know that we're gonna need some pretty large height, and I'm gonna show those by placing X's. That's gonna be the bone structure of this design. You've got a house over here and their backyard is over here. So something like a large holly or a cryptomeria or a Leland cypress, something like that, okay? So I'm looking for conical and quick growing to get up and create that beginning of a natural screen. Screen means we are blocking a location. All right, and then you want to go in between because you want this to be multi-dimensional. You don't want a straight line. I don't want a straight line when I am designing any sort of a natural screen. So then I am going in with a different textured plant, such as and I'm looking for evergreen 100% in this screen because I want it to create a dense line that you really can't see through, okay? And so I'm thinking loropetalum. You've got your deep green, your plum color, and a different texture. So that's going to look nice, okay? Then I want to come a step farther and I want to go in between and put something, let's do an X with a circle around it. X with a circle around it. And these can be smaller. These can be smaller plants, but that are maybe a different growth habit. They could be small, they could be spreading, but you really are looking at the bones being your taller plants in the very back. We're going to say a cryptomeria for the sake of this. Then we're going with a loropetalum in between. So it's already making that triangular pattern. Then we're going to come in the front and we are going to put, let's say maybe an abelia or gardenia, probably a gardenia, a standard gardenia, not a dwarf. And so that's going to create a different color green with a flower. You could go in with camellias. You just want something different textures. So when it grows up, it is going to create a screen that like a fence that you really don't know that you're looking through. Let me also say that when I am designing this, I have the spacing in mind, and you need to think about that as well. Obviously, if you've got a loropetalum here, they are bushy and big. Think big hairy monster, okay? So if you have a gardenia that's also big, you have to space in an effort to give room to grow. I'm looking at probably a 30-foot span. So I know that when I design this and I place this, that it is going to be spaced properly. I'm not putting plants on top of each other, crowding them out. We are strategically planting them. The other thing is these are in front. So they are not right up on this plant here. They are another level of the dimension. So this is a 3-dimensional design. So I just wanted to throw that out there. You have to be sure that when you are designing, another thing you have to look at is your spacing. Make sure you are not overcrowding your plants in an effort to create an instant impact. You do have to allow plants enough time to grow in. And I know that is so hard. It's hard for me too. But after that first year, if you are taking care of your plants, they will grow. And I have to say that, to my clients, when we are planting, your plants will grow. They look small when they go in. They will fill in, and we do have to allow space for that. So it might look sparse at first, but just like babies grow into adults, so do plants. Baby plants grow into big plants, right? The other area that I am going to draw is their patio area. So you've got a pathway coming in here, and this is going to be sod. And we're going to continue the Bermuda sod like this, okay? Then we are going to get into that wood line, and we're sort of increasing this where we're going to do sort of an odd-shaped flagstone patio. Like I said, you don't have to have artistic ability. You can just do a rough sketch, right? Which is what I just did. So this is all going to be flagstone throughout. The sod's going to stop here. And then we may do some seated walls throughout here, maybe over here, maybe here. We may just leave it. I'm going to do an option with a seated wall, and then I'm going to do some planted material and, maybe even some moss covered flagstone that is going to get us to the beginning of this patio, okay? And we are going to do some flagstone in the sod. So it naturally, as you're walking in their backyard and you're going down to the path to their wooded secret area, you've got a little inset that you really can't see. You've got stepping stones that are going to take you back to this area. So those are really the only two that I wanted to jot down and think through in my mind, which it's pretty cut and dry. And that won't be a problem to design. And so I just wanted to show you that is an easy way to put your thoughts on paper. And if you are like me, you are a visual person, which most humans are. It's easy to really be able to get creative even by putting it on paper. If you have a project or something that you would like to do in your own landscape, but you are struggling with how to put it all together, you've got the idea, you've got the goal, you've sort of got the vision, or you know what you like and you know what you don't like, but you don't know how to bring it together, I would be more than happy to be that resource for you. I do not have to be local to do a design for you or do a consultation. And if you are interested in learning more about how I can help you, feel free to check out my website at thesoutherndaisy.com. I have a lot of information on there and a way to set up an appointment with me. And I would love to help you. It's okay if you don't know how. We can accomplish that together. And a lot of times, two minds are better than one. So anyway, I hope this has been beneficial for you and how you go from an idea or a concept of what you want to do through the very initial basic conversations and how I go about it with my own clients and my own self in taking an idea, asking the right questions, looking very carefully, taking great pictures, putting a rough sketch together, and then starting to create that masterpiece. I am so excited that you have spent today with me. I hope it's been fun. I hope it's been inspirational. And I hope you get a chance to go out and get your hands dirty today. And I look forward to seeing you in another video soon. Have a great, great day. Take care, everybody.